Rescue workers want to thank a higher power for coming to the rescue early Sunday morning. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KHQA News at 10. I'm Stephen Johnson.
And I'm Rajah Maples. Emergency crews spent an hour and a half trying to extricate a 19-year-old Quincy woman trapped in her crushed car on Missouri 19 near Center, Missouri. The Missouri Highway Patrol says 26-year-old Aaron Smith crossed the center line, hitting Katie Lentz head-on. Now, friends, family, and those who rescued Lentz would love to find and thank a mysterious priest who they say helped make that rescue possible.
New London Fire Chief Raymond Reed says rescue crews spent the first 45 minutes after the accident trying to get Katie Lentz out of this car to no avail Sunday morning shortly after 9 a.m. The metal on this older model Mercedes dulled the department's equipment.
The materials it was constructed of were probably better than how cars are constructed today. It was a very well-built car, and when you compact materials like that one was compacted, they become even stronger because you're cutting through multiple things instead of just one layer.
About an hour into the rescue, Katie told rescue workers she'd like to pray out loud with them. That's when a priest appeared out of nowhere.
He came up and approached the patient and did offer a prayer. It was a Catholic priest, and he had anointing oil with him. And a sense of calmness come over her then, even more so than what she had been already. And it did us as well. I can't be for certain who said or how it was said or where it come from, but myself and one of the other firefighters that was beside me, we very plainly heard that we should remain calm, that our tools would now work, and that we would get her out of that vehicle.
The Hannibal Fire Department showed up right after that prayer with fresh equipment and was able to finish the extrication. After getting Katie safely into the air evac helicopter, at least a dozen other rescue workers turned around to thank the priest, who was nowhere in sight. The highway had been blocked for a quarter of a mile during the hour-and-a-half rescue, leaving no bystanders or no parked cars nearby. Lentz's family and friends are amazed by the story.
Where did this guy come from? We're looking for the priest. You know, whether it was just a priest as an angel, serving as an angel, or an actual angel that came in and wearing the priestly attire, he was an angel to all those and to Katie.
We just would like to find this gentleman and be able to thank him. As a first responder, you don't know what you're going to run into. Everything is a case-by-case basis, everything that we come across. We have a lot of tools that allow us to do many things, and we have extensive training. In this particular case, it is my feeling that it was nothing more than sheer faith and nothing short of a miracle.
One man has been shot and police are looking for a suspect in an afternoon incident in Quincy. Our own Rajah Maples is live at the scene. Rajah, what can you tell us?
Stephen, here's what we do know. The Quincy Police Department responded to this house behind me, 219 South 11th Street, shortly after 3 p.m. for reports of a gunshot wound. Now, I got here during the 3 o'clock hour and saw a man being wheeled out in a stretcher, and crews were doing CPR on him. It did not look like a good situation. We know that a call came in shortly around 6 o'clock this evening about a gunman in the 400 block of Murray Street. Tuesday was the first day Kenny Owens had a chance to enjoy one of his favorite summer pastimes, going for a swim in the Mississippi River with his dog and family. He's done just that for the past 20 years, but Tuesday was a first for him.
Right here, right behind me on the other side of this dead tree, about 15 feet down and 15 feet in. I found the upper and lower jawbone, I believe. I found a few teeth. One of it looked like it had a little super glue on it.
Owens was going along the shoreline, throwing out glass from the river's bottom so that no one would get hurt.
Here's some of the items I found in the water, trying to make sure nobody cut themselves.
That's when he came across the bones.
Is it definitely human?
Oh yes, there's no way around it. The first one only had one tooth in it, so I wasn't for sure. But the second one was the whole upper part of it, and it had quite a few teeth in it.
Owens' nephew Elijah also was swimming when his uncle came across the find.
I think it's
different, that's for sure. I wouldn't never expect to find pieces of human bones out there.
But this isn't Kenny Owen's first unusual discovery here.
My son and I found a pearl last year. He found it right down here. We was actually having a competition on who could find the most mussels.
The Pike County, Illinois Sheriff's Office collected the bones from Owens Tuesday afternoon.
I just am really excited. I've been on cloud nine, you know, I'm so happy.
Cindy Young's daughter, Christina Whitaker, went missing in November 2009. She was last seen at a sports bar on Broadway in Hannibal. Young has never given up hope that her daughter is alive, and she says Monday's discovery of 3 missing women gave her a boost that she's needed lately.
It's a victory for all of us who has kids that are missing, and really for our entire nation. It's a victory for all of us. I needed it. I really did need that.
Young thinks Whitaker could be a victim of human trafficking and just wants her to come home.
It happens every day, everywhere. People think it's not here or it's not in their town. It's everywhere. You know, girls are kidnapped, they're drugged, they're prostituted. It's everywhere. You could have a missing person right next door to you and not even realize it, and that's proof of that. I think Christina just was in the wrong place at the wrong time and just, you know, met up with the wrong people. It's irrelevant what happened to her. I just want her home. I mean, I don't care if there's any arrests. I just don't care about any of that anymore. All I want is just my daughter back, and hope to get back searching soon for her, and just keep her in your prayers, you know, and pray that, you know, maybe she'll be the next one we'll find.
Look how tiny you were.
6-year-old Aubrey Trowbridge looks like a perfectly healthy young girl, but as her parents can attest, that was far from the case during Aubrey's first days of life. Aubrey has hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is considered a critical congenital heart defect.
You always hope for the healthy 10 fingers and 10 toes, but for something like that, it was a complete shock to Brian and I and my family. When she was born, she was whisked away from us, taken to St. Louis Children's Hospital. She had her first open heart surgery when she was 6 days old. The first time I saw her, looking at the pictures and the picture of her there, it dropped me to my knees, all that stuff. And basically her body was kind of shutting down. We had another surgery when she was 6 months old and another heart surgery again when she was 3 years old. She's doing great now.
The Trowbridges call themselves lucky, but they use their experience to help other Illinois families. Carrie Trowbridge shared her story at the Illinois State Capitol alongside the March of Dimes to lobby for CCHD's addition to the state's required newborn screenings.
They were really key in helping us push this through the General Assembly. They met with several legislators. They spoke at our lobby day. This was a lobby day initiative. They met with members of the General Assembly. They allowed us to use their story to add a face to critical congenital heart disease.
This is a law that's passing across the United States to help identify these birth defects for children before they're sent home. You know, we're a part of something that we feel is going to help save a lot of lives.
Carrie and Brian Trowbridge say Aubrey goes back to cardiologists every year for diagnostic testing.
You know, there's a ton of long-term things that could happen, heart transplants. So we take it year by year because we don't like to worry about that. We don't like to stress about it. We like to celebrate her life now and that we have her now because, like I said, we're blessed to have her.
Rajah Maples, KHQA TV7 News, Quincy. I'm here at Graceland Cemetery in Quincy, where a very moving candlelight vigil has just ended. About 15 minutes ago, about 3 dozen people showed up, including members of the Quincy Police Department and the Adams County Sheriff's Department, to remember the life lost too soon, 1981, 32 years ago, where 5-year-old Alan Madden passed away. For those of you who aren't familiar with the case, he was brutally murdered by his mother and her boyfriend, and they were convicted of the crime, served time, and Madden was only in kindergarten. Chris Pruitt was in 4th grade at Washington School in Quincy, and he organized this event and joins me live. Can you kind of rehash the mood of this candlelight vigil tonight, Chris?
Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
On behalf of Sports Director Chris Dewar, who is taking a much-needed break from work today, tip-top of the evening, everyone. The Kansas City Chiefs remain the NFL's only undefeated team, moving to 8-0 today.